So I've been thinking recently about what the most important aspects of musicianship are. And while a few things came to mind, there was one in particular that really stood out, and that's rhythm. Rhythm's essential because it's the heartbeat of the song. And without a heartbeat, the song's gonna die. So don't kill your songs. Learn how to count. If you want to play with other musicians and not look like a complete noob, you're gonna need to have at least a basic understanding of the common rhythms and timing of Western music. From my experience, those rhythms are the quarter note, the eighth note, and the eighth note triplet. You've probably already heard countless examples of those rhythms before, but maybe you didn't know what they were called or how to count them. So let's start there. If you know the song Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, it starts out with a pretty neat drum beat. It just goes. And we can count. Generally when you listen to a song, that one in particular, right? You hear a recurring pattern. Most often, it's in groups of four. So if you listen to that drum beat, you can count to four along with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I really recommend that you try counting along to songs that you know and like to try and figure out how their patterns go. In most cases, we can hear at least two of those three rhythms in almost every kind of pop song that you've ever heard. The quarter note on the bass and the snare, that's the 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the eighth note is on the hi-hat. It's in between and, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so, see how there's just two eighth notes for every quarter note? I mean, that's really all it is. You just take the pulse, the beat, and divide it up. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the eighth note triplet is just what it sounds like. Then we take the quarter note and we divide it into three equal pieces. Like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 pullet, 2 pullet, 3 pullet, 4 pullet, 1 pullet, 2 pullet, 3 pullet, 4 pullet. Excuse me. To practice these rhythms, I recommend that you get a metronome app, like on your smartphone or whatever, and just take it and set it to 4/4 time at a tempo that you're comfortable playing at. Maybe around like 100 beats per minute or so, and just practice just counting each one of those rhythms. When you set it to 4/4 time, each chirp or click that you hear in your metronome, is going to be your quarter note. So you can count right along with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And your eighth notes then, just like with the drum beat, your eighth notes are just going to come in right in between all your quarter notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And your eighth note triplets, count them along with it. 1 pullet, 2 pullet, that's 1 pullet, like you're saying triplet. 1 pullet, 2 pullet, 3 pullet, 4 pullet, 1 pullet, 2 pullet, 3 pullet, 4 pullet. Now, you try counting the rhythms. You get counting the rhythms down so you can really like hear them, and try like tapping your foot along with it too. Just tap your foot on the quarter note. Most of the time when you're listening to a song and you can like tap your foot or bob your head, that's the quarter note usually. So get counting, and then try picking each one. Get used to doing picking different rhythms like that, and get so you can do it without thinking about it. You can just do it. It's gonna take time and it's gonna take practice, but you can do it. And then try fretting it too. Let me get fretting and picking, Just once you get all that kind of the basic stuff down, you can start moving on to more advanced rhythms and strumming patterns and mixing them up, doing different rhythms together. But I highly recommend tapping your foot, or something while you're doing this, because that'll carry over into your playing and it'll help you be unconsciously aware of the beat, by feeling the music and not just like hearing it. Finally, keep in mind that not all songs are in 4/4. So if you're trying to count along with a song and 4 isn't working, just try finding the pulse, whatever you can tap your foot to, and try to count how many beats you get until the pattern resets. Sometimes this can be kind of tricky, because not every song being in 4/4, sometimes they're real odd numbers like 7, or something that's just real kind of unusual, and it can be weird to count. But you can do it. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you, give it a like and subscribe for more music-y stuff in the future.